Hi, I'm Simon Cooper. I'm the founder of Grin Toothbrush. This story starts in 1938, when the first plastic toothbrushes rolled off the production line. In the 8 decades since, almost nothing with plastic toothbrushes has changed. They're still cheap to make, they're still disposable. So with Grin, I set out to solve 2 big problems. The first problem is that if you're anything like me, you probably use your toothbrush longer than you should. I always forget to change mine every 3 months like my dentist recommends. And the problem with that is that when the bristles start to get all frayed and worn out, they're actually damaging your tooth enamel and your gums. And that can eventually lead to gum disease. Now, gum disease may not sound like the biggest problem, but a recent study in the American Journal of Preventive Medicine showed that gum disease is closely linked with heart disease, premature birth, diabetes, and a whole host of other health issues. So that's the first problem, making sure that people can remember to change their toothbrushes regularly. The second problem is even bigger. You remember I said 1938 was the first plastic toothbrush was produced? Well, pretty much every single toothbrush that was produced since then is still somewhere on the planet today. And every year, we add 3 billion more to that growing pile. Just to paint a picture for you, 3 billion toothbrushes is roughly equivalent to the weight of 5,500 yellow school buses. Put another way, it's enough to circle the globe over 12 times. In fact, in the time it takes me to give you this presentation, over 50,000 more will be disposed of. So that's a pretty big problem. So what if there was a toothbrush that was better for your teeth, it was better for the planet, and what if that toothbrush was delivered right to your door? It reminded you when it needed replacing, and all that for less than the cost of similar drugstore disposables. Well, I'd like you to meet Grin. Grin is an aluminum handle and replaceable brush heads. Because you keep the handle and just replace the brush heads, it uses 85% less plastic than drugstore disposables. So 6 Grin brush heads is roughly equivalent to just 1 drugstore toothbrush. On top of that, we're currently testing new biodegradable plastics for the brush head, as well as exploring recycling programs. I'm also really happy to announce that starting just a few weeks ago, for every Grin toothbrush purchased, we donate $1 to the Ocean Legacy Foundation, who use the money to pull over 100 grams of plastic and debris from our oceans. That's equivalent to 5 drugstore disposables. So, it's just a way better environmental solution. On top of that, Grin is just a superior toothbrush design. Our handle is smooth. It doesn't have grooves and ridges all over it that just get gunked up with toothpaste, saliva, and because of that, bacteria. When you lay Grin down on the counter, it lays flat and the brush head's elevated. So you don't have to worry about the part that goes in your mouth touching a dirty bathroom surface, which is pretty close to the toilet. Also, Grin uses special bristles. These bristles are tapered, so they penetrate deeper and provide a better clean. Grin is also the last toothbrush that you'll ever own. Because when you subscribe online, we send you the toothbrushes to your door, we send you refills every year, and we remind you every 3 months when it's time to replace your brush head. So it saves you time and money, and it's better for your health. So what's the cost of Grin? Well, the first year you get a handle and 5 brush heads for only $20. That includes shipping. Every year after that, you automatically get 4 brush heads for only $15. If you were to buy similar quality brush heads today at Shoppers Drug Mart, it would cost you at least $24. Our margins, including shipping, including the donation to the environmental agency, including packaging, all in, are still over 50%. So it's really healthy. The market for Grin is really large. Where we're currently selling in Canada, it's $68 million a year. In the US, it's over $500 million a year. And in Europe, it's $1.75 billion. Worldwide, it's a $5 billion market. So how are we going to grow? Well, we're going to use PR. We're going to use digital advertising, search engine marketing, social media influencers, and we're going to partner with like-minded direct-to-consumer brands that share Grin's values. To date, Grin has sold over $7,000 worth of product on an ad spend of roughly half that, which is actually pretty good for a new e-commerce store. But probably what I'm most proud of is the fact that on our website, 100% of the reviews are 5-star. So currently we're selling on our website, which is considered a direct-to-consumer model. E-commerce is growing rapidly. It's set to double in the next 3 years. Meanwhile, subscription products have grown by 100% a year over the past 5 years. And the good thing about Grin as a product is that it's a proven model. If you've heard of Harry's and Dollar Shave Club, those are men's razors that are direct-to-consumer models. Dollar Shave Club started in 2012, and within 5 years, sold to Unilever for $1 billion. Meanwhile, Harry's, that started just a few years later, recently sold for $1.4 billion. We also plan to start selling in retail, and we've taken our first baby steps there, selling in a high-end fashion boutique, and sales are going well. So I can see Grin moving into boutique-type stores, but obviously we're going to focus on smaller drugstores, we're going to focus on grocery stores, and once we get some traction, we'll move into bigger stores such as Shoppers Drug Mart. Retail, as it stands today, is pretty bland. There's anywhere between 50 and 100 products that all look the same. All the toothbrushes claim to have the same benefits, and they're all priced around the same. So I think Grin, with a beautiful look, with unique packaging, will sell well in retail. Also, that will serve to help us raise awareness and drive traffic to our website. The team behind Grin is myself, Simon Cooper. I founded Grin over 3 years ago, and I've recently been joined by Andrew Draper, who's an experienced entrepreneur. He's raised capital for several startups, including one of the very first online subscription businesses. I'm also supported by Innovation Factory and some of the entrepreneurs in residence, Richard Dunda and Jim Letwin. We also have a design team, an industrial design team, who helped us design Grin, called Anchored Design. And we have a local design engineer who helps us with engineering and production. If Grin was to win LiONS LAIR, it would be fantastic. To date, I've put my money in and haven't raised any capital, so this would be a real boost. The money would go towards helping us prove out the market, really identify in more detail who our target market is, and work to understand better what the cost of conversion is so that we can scale and grow more rapidly. Thank you very much for your time.